The biggest mistake William Ruto did was to create Rigathi Gachagua. He underestimated him. He looked down on him. He thought that watu wa Murima, as soon as you're out of power, they stop looking up to you. We know Gachagua is impeached right now. He can't even vie for any political position. But he continues to gain ground. Now, we know politics is them versus us. Even as Rigathi Gachagua continues to gain ground, we must ask ourselves, at what point do we benefit as a people? It's either we get caught up in those politics and continue being like the way Kenya has been. I don't need to tell you how Kenya is. Or we get into Gachagua, or we get Gachagua into our ideology. Right now, give a man his credit and give it where it's due. I don't think there is a powerful politician right now than Rigathi Gachagua. He has gained political support, yet there is no clear future for him in terms of him ever becoming a leader. All right, but I would like to urge Rigathi Gachagua and even us as a generation, we get Gachagua, let him get caught up in our ideology of changing this country from a third world country into a second world country, unaona, so that the political power he continues to get translates into something. You get, so that tuache tu kuongeanga umaskini every now and then. We get excited with an election, with politics. After politics, then we go back to those settings of, oh, hakuna pesa, oh, jobs have gone down. Like something yesterday happened kwa nini ya jamaa anaitwa Kimani Trako. I was there, and Dennis Itumbi was there. And so one of the questions I asked Dennis Itumbi was, tell us the bracket, a new bracket of taxation that William Ruto has created that he's taxing. Oh, you know what Nani said? Dennis Itumbi, he said that so far William Ruto has created 1 million jobs for young people in the housing sector and sijui teachers and everything, that has expanded the taxation bracket. But if you look at the numbers of KRA missed their target of revenue collection by 163 billion. So who are these people that have been incorporated in the taxation bracket that are eating into our taxes instead of KRA, hitting its target and expanding it? Unaona? So he also said that William Ruto's presidency has taken bank interest rates the lowest they have ever been in our history. So if you look at those politics, do we want to continue, that round? Who gets to talk about real issues? Even as we get caught up in the web of politics, because politics have their place, you can't deny it in our in the human race programs. But who talks about real issues? At what point do this is the conversation we need to ask ourselves as a generation. They are fighting, when they say they are fighting for the future, okay? As we are fighting for our now. Who talks about our now? Who changes our now? How do we change it collectively? You have to choose whether to be, to speak the unpopular truth, or you have to be popular with things that do not really translate into meaningful change for the human race, especially here in Kenya, because we are now caught up into this web of politics. Anyway, may God help us, may God guide us, may we stand for what is right, may we demand and do that which we must do to change our story, that we don't have to be a third world country forever with every 5 years going to an election. Anyway, God bless you and
Gachagua. Mbona unamtoa William Ruto nguo hivi? Ruto umetolewa nguo na Gachagua bana. Ile speech Gachagua amepeana juice, and I told you Ruto hautawezana na Gachagua. Is gonna demolish you completely. In fact, Mkenya yote mwerevu mwenye amesikiza speech ya Gachagua, hakuna venye anaweza trust William Ruto anymore. Mulianzisha hii game, Gachagua atakuweka on a political course 24/7. I know you'll force Kindiki to reply. against Gachagua's allegations, whether allegations or truth, but we know it's the truth. I know you are going to force Kindiki to reply to that. If not you, Varuku will force Kindiki to reply to that. Huyu Gachagua ni kama kuna ni kama wakati alikuwa anafanya kazi na wewe, alikuwa na take notes, anaziweka mahali akijua itafika wakati utakuja kumuruka. Hakuna kitu anaficha. Could it be the reason as to why Gachagua is called a truth of man? Sijui what? Ni kunoma maze. Hii nayo, hii Gachagua ametumaliza. Amemaliza huyu jamaa kabisa. Amemmaliza. Ile speech Gachagua alipeana, wewe umeisikiza?
Economic charters with each and every county agreeing on the economic interventions that will be required for each county. He put them aside. We had agreed on the payment of pending bills for our business community to bring money into circulation. He put that one aside. We had agreed on the bottom-up economic model of putting money into people's pocket. The minute he reached State House, he changed course. He got a small team of economic advisors and came up with a very brutal program of removing whatever little money was in people's pocket from their pockets. Along the way, I could not agree with him. I couldn't agree with him because I'm a very principled person. And I told him, boss, we have lost focus. This is what we told the people of Kenya. We had assured the people of Kenya that we will never carry out evictions and demolitions that are inhuman. And when he made a decision to evict people from Nairobi River along the line, and the Nairobi River Commission was in my office and he asked me to lead that program, I told him I can't do it because it's against my principle. And he said, you must do it. When we had the Finance Bill 2024, I was the lone voice in cabinet telling him, listening to the people of Kenya, they will not accept this finance bill. And it will leave us with an egg on our face. He became intolerant. He became dictatorial. And the government that he leads is a one-man show. I can tell you today, all those ministers you see there, they are flower girls. I was the only man in that cabinet who could stand up and tell him, hey boss, no, this can't work. And that's why he needed me out, so that he can put a protege and other fellows just to say, yes sir, yes sir. It's a praise and worship choir for the president. And I couldn't fit in that choir. I couldn't fit in that choir, you know, and he's very bitter, extremely angry, very irritable, that for a whole 6 days he's just abusing me in Western Kenya. Rigathi Gachagua is not a road in Webuye. He is not a hospital in Vihiga. He is not a water pan in Kakamega. He is not a slaughterhouse in Bungoma. President of the Republic of Kenya has gone to Western for 6 days, just talking about Rigathi Gachagua, occasionally Kalonzo Musyoka, because he's bitter that his voting bloc, the one that made him president, the Mount Kenya bloc,